Greetings and welcome to Africa Online Media Corporation. It is another Sunday, it is another day, it is another point in time when we catch up to what we scheduled. So please, if you are with us, join us, zoom in, feel free to be with us, and please, our Zoom link, https://zoom USJ 8595 8325993. And when asked, the code, rather, not the zip code, I'm so used to talking about that. The code is 5993. That being said, it is another day. It is another Sunday. It is the time for us to take another letter in our acronym. You know, we had the STEM acronym, and we had the letter T the other day. So today, we are going to look at the letter M. But first, let us say this, our reflection for today. It is Sunday, August the 10th, 2025. It is the 222nd day of the year 2025. And that leaves us with just 143 days for 2025, 143 days. You can count down with us as we go along. Today is the 32nd Sunday of 2025, on the 33rd week of 2025, when we use the United States number calculation. It is the 52nd day of summer. Yeah, 52 days have gone by since summer came around. But that leaves us just 43 days more before we go into fall or autumn if you're in Europe. We seize the moment to wish the people of Ecuador Happy Independence Day, as today they celebrate their National Day. Do not say that you heard this from me anyway, not the independence, but this other thing that is coming up. Whatever and however you feel, please know that today in these United States is National Lazy Day. National Lazy Day, L-A-Z-Y. Yes, National Lazy Day. The origins of National Lazy Day are not known, but it is enthusiastically celebrated on August the 10th. We may or may not frown at it, but today is the one day nobody should call you out for staying in bed all day long or lounging on the couch just in your PJs because you're in front of the TV and you're in your house and you don't care what is going on, but you are munching on snacks, or is it popcorn, whatever. Neither should anyone blame you for grabbing a copy of this book, The Myth of Laziness. Did you ever know there was a book like that? The Myth of Laziness by Mel Levine, to better understand your own often debunked but true story about laziness and its impact on our productivity. Laziness can be a blessing because that lazy person may just be saving up energy for more important things. Lazy people are usually well rested and reap the benefits of getting sufficient sleep, which is, of course, an exercise that improves memory, and decreases stress, as well as prolongs the attention span of all of us, as well as decreases inflammation in the brain. Being lazy allows the body to rejuvenate and restore its balance and energy. That is why, even as we may glorify the hustle culture in which we live these days, we should remember that it is good to be lazy occasionally, as that is the time to reflect and really think about things. One such thing to think about today is that academic subject that we often get scared of. That academic subject that almost led some of us astray because we're almost giving up on our education. I'm thinking here of the topic of the day, the M in our acronym, that is mathematics. Mathematics. Yes, many of us were scared of it and never did well in it. What do you remember or would you like to know about today in mathematics? Was this or has mathematics been your Waterloo? Join us and our guest, Professor Peter Akwichek, and his team, if we have a team, and all of us to shine the light, as well as raise awareness about mathematics. We will do that in a moment. First of all, let us seize the moment. Already, we wish them Independence Day. So let us not say a happy Ecuador Day. It was their day, it is their day. They are still celebrating because it's getting night tonight in their country. But whatever we have in mind, Africa Online Media Corporation invites you today to join us as we think things mathematics. Yes, mathematics. Join us as we refresh our minds or learn about or reinforce the knowledge we have had all these years or just today because we were born yesterday, because the topic mathematics is crucial and important in our lives. So the letter M for mathematics is mathematics. And of course, we are going to ask you, did it help you climb the ladder or did it stop you short of climbing that ladder? Whatever it was, we will invite the chair of Africa Online Media Corporation, Reverend Dr. Pam Fonu, who will now welcome all of us, particularly those of us who are already on the screen, but also those of you who are listening from the comfort of your homes or just on that couch because it is lazy day. Whatever it is, take heart, be courageous, and let's talk mathematics. Ambassador, Reverend
Yes,
Pam.
your co-anchor, Ambassador Lisa, is not on today. Yes. Nia Song, you should have alerted us that today was National Lazy Day. I would not have been on this program. No, I would have been because I can't stand lazy people. I cannot even deal with being lazy. I don't even know what that is.
I do not want to throw off. I do not want to throw off the professor because I know he's always working. He's not a lazy guy.
All of us here. So I can see the French people celebrating that, but not here in America.
Yeah.
And I'm sure it takes a lot of courage to be lazy because I can't fathom being lazy. I just can't, you know.
It is not a good thing
to rest, but being lazy, lazy people don't contribute to society. They are consumers. But anyway, thank you so much, Nia Song. On behalf of Africa Online Media Corporation, I want to really appreciate you, Professor Peter. Last year, you and your crew took our STEM broadcast to another level, and we're like, you know what? We don't need to keep looking for people because for the past 9 years, you know, where the first 8 years we're looking for people, but after you guys delivered what you did last year, we're like, you know what? We don't need to keep calling different professors to come. Trust Tech Online, they are our partners anyway with Africa's Brain Bank. You guys handle it, and also it's an opportunity to promote the program, the Trust Tech Online Academy and the university in Cameroon, but mostly the Trust Tech Online Academy because you can reach people around the globe. So thank you so much, my dear brother, my dear friend, my dear classmate. I will not pick on you today. Dr. Gloria Coslin, thank you so much for your faithfulness. To our viewers who are watching on YouTube and those who are going to watch on Facebook, thank you so much. Prof, I just want you to know that I shared the last week's broadcast with the STEM students from the 5 different countries because it's relevant to what is a precursor of what they're going to be getting. So this STEM series will be shared on those platforms, you know, all those 5 different countries and also on our YouTube. So thank you so much. I am a bit tired today, but I can't afford to be lazy. I don't have that kind of courage to be lazy. So that's why I'm here. So you guys just bear with me if I look tired or sleepy. I've been going at 3,000 miles per hour. So Nia Song, I'm going to, Prof, for those who are joining us for the first time or who will be watching this broadcast for the first time, take a minute and briefly introduce yourself, and then we'll hand the mic to Professor Songlemfa Nkemleke.
Prof, unmute. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our, what edition is this, Prof? What edition? It's a lot of editions.
No, this one is the second edition of the STEM series for this year. Don't get it mixed up with Africa's Brain Bank. You know, a prof is teaching the STEM strand this Saturday. So last week when I called him, it's like, oh, I'm on week 3. I said, I'm not talking about Africa's Brain Bank. I'm talking about Africa Online, the broadcast. You know, it's a lot to keep track of. So thank you so much. Thank you for ceding your time. It would bring plenteous harvest. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you, everybody, for coming. Today is going to be a beautiful day. We're going to learn about mathematics, how mathematics affect your personal life without you even knowing about it. And now that you're going to know about it, I think you're going to be a better person in your job, in your personal life, and you know it, you can also be very important to your own family. So welcome, everyone. We are ready to go. And let me know when you want me to start.
Yes, Prof. I will just take it from there. What do we mean by mathematics? We knew of arithmetic in primary school in those good old days. But we went to secondary school and they told us of mathematics. What is it all about?
Interesting. Well, I've been through school myself. I learned about arithmetic and I learned about mathematics, right?
Yes.
So arithmetic is a beginning part of mathematics. You got to start from the arithmetic. Once you start from the arithmetic, what does it include? It includes basic subtraction, multiplication, division. In fact, BODMAS, there is a formula called BODMAS.
Yes.
We all learn from school, which stand for a B for bracket. If you want to solve some simple problem, you first do a bracket and then you solve for the off and then solve for the division and then you do the multiplication, addition, and subtraction. So those are the basic arithmetic principles that you learn from primary, nursery, secondary school, until when you get to high school, you are now going to do higher math. In other words, they call it further math or mathematics in short, in which case you are going to be studying about statistics, probability, and of course, scientific math, which need you to understand what is called exponent to the power of and a function. So those are the scientific part of mathematics where you are going to finally end up there. And that is the one that you actually use in business. But you cannot skip arithmetic at all. You have to start with arithmetic, which is the foundation of mathematics. That's what I will tell you for now.
So not to scare people out there, especially back on the continent where teaching is what it is, we know that teachers may either teach what they know or they don't teach what they know, and they just scare students by saying, you will not pass this in this subject, you will not pass in mathematics, so please don't waste your time. Should we scare children because of the word mathematics?
No, not at all. That would be the worst thing to do to a student, to scare them. Because essentially, mathematics is very important for our personal life. As you grow and you start earning money, you need to be able to know how to calculate the balance in your account. You'll be able to know if your money is secured. You're able to know when you go to the market to buy something and somebody gives you a change, how do you know that you are not cheated? So you need to know for your own personal good. In order to protect your own wealth, you just need to know mathematics or arithmetic. So it's very essential. Nobody should shy away from it because you need it for your personal life. For those who want to be engineers, there is absolutely no way you can avoid it because everything today is driven by mathematics. You're going to hear about AI. You're going to hear about medicine. You're going to hear about finance. All of those things we're going to discuss today, how countries have adopted mathematics and it's changing the world. It's changing their country in a better way, improving the economy. You will learn about it today as well. So mathematics or arithmetic to get started, you should never be scared or be told that it's difficult or you shouldn't do it.
Prof, okay, you go ahead. You go ahead.
No, I just want to weigh in on something he said about arithmetic and mathematics. So, Prof, you attended Dr. Bagayoko's, I believe you attended the second week when we're talking about the comprehensive scientific advisement, or that was strand 2 of our 12 strand systemic mentoring, where it is talking about the proper sequencing of courses. So without arithmetic, you cannot do mathematics, and it will not be fair to put a child or a student in a math class when they don't even know the fundamentals or the basic. And he actually talked about, don't even waste your time doing algebra when you have not done arithmetic. And I think, and you can correct me, and he said, don't bother doing calculus if you've not done arithmetic, algebra, and I think trigonometry. So it's so important that, like Prof is saying, math is needed in every career, even though some people say they go to law school because they don't want to do math. Well, you are charging all these clients, if you're depending on an accountant, they may embezzle your funds. You need to be able to balance your bank account, know your end balance. You need to be able to do simple mathematics, arithmetic rather. And Prof, at the beginning, I think you talked about the sequencing, you call it the Bodman. Can you just repeat that? Because sometimes you see these problems. Okay, they may say 5 plus 5 divided by 5 minus 5 times 5. Which one go first? Which of the characters go first? Can you break that down a little bit for our viewers?
Yes, of course. Again, the formula is so simple. You will learn it, and you should never forget about it, because it's going to play a vital role in any mathematics you are involved with. So the formula is BODMAS, BODMAS, BODMAS. All right. So the very first letter is a B. So when you have an expression of mathematics and you see bracket in it, you need to solve that part of the equation first.
Okay.
Now, once you are done with that, you will see, when you see an off is almost like a multiplication. Off, the O stands for off. You will solve that next in the equation. And the next one is D, which is a division.
Division.
So anything in the system, in the formula that has a division on it, then you will do the one next. After you do the division, then comes the M. You find multiplication in the equation, you solve that. You combine and solve that. Then the following, the next one is subtraction. No, sorry.
Addition.
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 Yes, exactly. You do the addition. And then the last thing that you need to do is subtraction. So if you don't follow this formula, you will get the answer wrong. So
that is so good. Thank you so much for breaking it down. Yes.
I want to cause problems here now by saying, do politicians know botany? Do they know mathematics? Do they know arithmetic? Because many politicians end up not solving our problems, not because they are not literate, but they are literate in their own way and ignore the basics like mathematics and science and technology.
I think politicians, if they are in politics, and we are expecting that they must have gone through school, they have learned mathematics, or at least they have learned the arithmetic. But coming to the field, if they don't apply it, then that's where things might not work right for them. Sometimes they do calculation wrong, especially when it comes to budgeting, and that looks bad for them. And sometimes they don't get re-elected because they just screwed up. So if somebody is listening and want to go into politics, be a modern politician who know your mathematics, and be able to interpret graphs, interpret population, talk about the impact of activities within the population. Is all about mathematics. If anybody watched when Obama was campaigning for the president, he was always on point. People will bring questions from anywhere in terms of population, economy, finance, benefits for the public. This is all mathematics. Had it been that I didn't have a clue about those things, he would be stumbling when patients come from the crowd. So politicians, you got to learn math.
Do not quote me. I know a politician who says statistics are not right. So he has to put his own person who will figure the statistics in his own way. So that is out of the way anyway. By the way, so let us go into our subject. Let us continue to focus on what we know. Let me call on Dr. Crosslin first. She may have a question for Prof before we continue. Dr. Crosslin, please unmute and join us. Welcome to the program today.
Yes, so thank you so very much, Her Excellency, Dr. Pam, for this platform, and to you, Professor, and the guest speaker today, and to all those that are watching on Facebook and watching the replay. I would just like to make a comment that one thing about math is that it never gets old and it never changes. And so I like that we are doing a refresher, and it just shows a passion that the professor has, and I can hear it in his voice, and he's so excited. And it makes math not scary, you know, and just knowing that follow and solve for the brackets first. And math is it's like a language, and I love it. And thanks for the refresher. And I'm excited to see what the next 15 minutes is going to bring. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Valid point. So, Prof, you're making math sexy again and cool.
That's right.
You're making math attractive.
Absolutely, absolutely.
So is math just a subject by itself, or there are branches of math in the word mathematics? Are there other branches, or it's just a naked subject like that?
No, there are branches. There are branches in mathematics.
Lead us through that, please.
Absolutely. There are branches in mathematics, and they're applicable to the job market as well. You have things like numbers and algebra. It's a branch of mathematics that deal with number theory, abstract algebra, groups, rings, and fields, linear algebra, and so on and so forth. Then there's another branch called geometry and trigonometry. Those are the areas where it has to do with taking a diagram and calculating the area and volume and all of that stuff. Then you have calculus and analysis. Calculus and analysis. This is one of the areas that is very integral when it comes to solving complex analysis. It comes very handy when you are doing data analysis in science. This is where calculus analysis comes into play, because everything below the screen or below the formulas is this particular theory and called the analysis and calculus. So it has to do with limits, derivatives, integrals, differential and integral calculus, real and complex analysis, measure theory. All of this terminology you will come to learn how they apply in real life. Then you have discrete mathematics. Discrete mathematics. This has to do with the graphs, graph theory, discrete structures, Boolean algebra, and so on and so forth. Then one of my favorite areas in mathematics is probability and statistics. Probability and statistics. I think everybody here must have enjoyed when you can determine the weather in the next 2 weeks. When you listen to news and the weather forecast comes through and they tell you that it will be sunny next week, there will be rain, after that. You can plan your trip, you can plan your journey, you can plan on whether you're going to the farm or not. So this is all based on probability theory, random variable distribution, inference, regression, and that's the math that they use to determine or predict what is going to happen in the future. Without math, forget about that determination. Even sometimes you will hear about hurricanes is in the coast. A hurricane is coming, people prepare and evacuate. You see how mathematics is saving life. All right. You also have differential equations, ordinary and partial differential equations, qualitative, dynamic, and so on and so forth. Then you have topology. Topology is another area that is so essential. If you are going to build a house, you're going to calculate the topology of that area. And then you will know how far you can dig deep to build your foundation. If the topology is not even enough, then you have to know how far you have to dig to make sure that the house is stable. So that's where mathematics come very, very handy. Then you have the optimization and operational research. I've talked about linear and nonlinear regression programming, game theory. Have you played game before? Have you actually interacted with other gamers? It's all mathematics behind the scene. When you are on a game console and try to fight against your enemy, all the calculations, the turns and bends that you take when you are doing the gaming is all mathematics calculations behind the scene. Then you have numerical and computational mathematics. Well, this is all about number crunching, and drawing of symbolic computation is mostly in the data science world. Information and coding cryptography, we're gonna hear that today, and how this part of the mathematics has been used to develop one of the modern financial apps that is really changing a country today in Kenya. And they are doing it in a big way. Then you have the applied and applying mathematics. This is more on the physics side. If you have ever done physics, then you will learn how applied math is very essential. Financial modeling. When you work for the Wall Street, and they begin to model the economy, the financial for a company, how do you determine how to buy a stock? You model the finances for that company. You can predict if the company will do well next year. And that is the science behind it. Have you heard about machine learning theory? Have you heard about data science? This is the applied mathematics coming into play, and today we cannot avoid it. AI is here, it's changing life.
Wow.
And finally, school level core mathematics roadmap. You start with arithmetic, then you go to the pre-algebra, then you go to the algebra, then you do geometry, and then you go to trigonometry, which follows suit, and then pre-calculus, calculus, and then at the top is statistics. So that's how math is lined up. So you can't jump, you can't skip any of these levels, otherwise you have it difficult. But if you proceed with arithmetic, then to the next level, math will never be something that will scare you. Thank you.
Prof, apparently mathematics is everywhere in our lives, every angle of our lives.
Absolutely, absolutely.
I need to say something. Prof, I am so proud of you. I will not pick on you anymore. I am so proud of you. Next week, on August 16, you are supposed to be discussing appropriation of emerging computer and technological skills on Africa's Brain Bank. But also, we will have to have you come and talk about this breakdown. You have broken maths today like I've never heard before. I mean, you went into the breakdown. I don't know if you have any slides to share or not, but if not, yeah, I gave you co-host, but I want to do a shout out to someone. I don't know if he's still alive, but excuse me, I believe he helped lay the math foundation for myself and for Prof. Akwichek when we're in CPC. His name is Dowadas. I don't know if he's still alive or not. I think he was Dutch. Was he Dutch? Peter, was he Dutch?
I think he was. I think
yeah, I think he was from that part of Europe. I mean, Mr. Dowada, he produced math geniuses out of CPC. Even when CPC students went to Cas Bambi and other high schools, they were on their knowledge was on parallel and unmatched. So I just wanted to give that shout out to Mr. Dowada. I know some Babans are in touch with his daughters, Gina, Natasha. I don't remember the other one's name, but I want to give a shout out to him. These are some of those missionaries that came to Africa, to Cameroon, and transformed lives. So, Peter, correct me if I'm wrong. Did Dowada contribute to your math knowledge and interest?
Absolutely, absolutely.
Okay, back to you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone. Math is an essential course that nobody should miss. And today we are going to deep dive and see how math has changed lives around the world. Mathematics is a universal language. As Dr. Gloria said, it doesn't change. It's a fundamental language that remains up to date today. That unlocks opportunity in science, technology, engineering, medicine. Can you imagine medicine that we live and strive because we have medicine? People are living longer today because of medicine. What is happening in here is that it is mathematics that ensure modern medicine is manufactured for us to live longer. The ability to have knowledge to problem solving, like problem solving. Sometimes you solve a problem, doesn't mean that you sit down and do calculations. Just logically thinking about an argument, and you logically solve that problem in your own house. Ability to think and logically answer questions in a debate is all about mathematics. So let us see how math is affecting Africa. This is our STEM program. The foundation provides essential building blocks for all STEM disciplines, whether we're doing science, technology, engineering, mathematics. Mathematics is a fabric of all of those technologies. Innovation. Mathematical thinking drives problem-solving capabilities needed for innovation and development. What about growth? Math is going to drive growth in a country. Any country that has strong mathematical literacy experience, faster economic growth will be very apparent, and technology advancement. So countries that know about this are going to ensure that mathematics is taught from primary nursery all the way to university in the right order. The current landscape, challenges in STEM education. One of them is resource limitation. 90% of schools in sub-Sahara Africa lack equipped science labs. Imagine in my years, we got a lab, but the lab was not fully equipped. So a lot of things that we learned was all theory, right? We struggle to actually have hands-on experience. So this challenge of resource limitation is what we face in Africa. Gender disparity is another problem. Women remain significantly underrepresented in STEM careers because sometimes when they start their early education, some of the instructors do not give them the opportunity to learn mathematics and be competitive. Don't get me wrong, there are a lot of girls in engineering today, and they are making it big, but they came a long way. Urban area, students in rural areas face especially limited access to quality mathematics education, qualified teachers, and learning resources. So those are some of the challenges that we face in STEM education within Africa. All right, let's look at the aspiring African mathematics and STEM success stories. Even though we have our challenges, we are bracing in and making big changes that are really apparent in Africa. We're going to deep dive and see where mathematics have made a lot of economic impact. The African Institute for Mathematics Science has produced 2,800 graduates 33% are women. 70% remaining in Africa to drive innovation in their home countries. This is good news, Pam. That's what you are trying to do.
Yes, that's good news. They're staying home.
They stay home and they are making a big impact. Here come Kenya. Kenya, coding success. Kenya is proud to bring innovation in boot camps across Kenya. People are really seeing the importance of mathematics in this country and the programming skills. So and then they also produce some app. We're going to talk about that, how the app is really changing their economy. Individual trailblazers, like pioneers like Dr. Rose Legdon. This is from Ghana. And they also have Nigeria as well stepping in.
Well, Prof, you missed the most important one, and that is Africa's Brain Bank.
African Brain Bank, of course. It's making a lot of wave in Africa. So, how do we see the real impact? We're going to look at the real impact. Now, my first one I want to announce here is Ghana. Ghana Science Association promotes vital partnership between mathematics departments and local industry to solve real-world problems using mathematics modeling. That's it, in Ghana. Career pathways. Strong mathematical foundation enable African students to pursue careers in high demanding skills like health informatics. So if you want to earn a lot of money and you want to go to those high demanding careers like health informatics, guess what? You need mathematics. What about engineering? You need mathematics. What about data analytics? You need mathematics. What about business technology? Even business, you need mathematics. So you begin to see that some of these high-paying job positions require you to have a knowledge in mathematics. So you cannot avoid it. You cannot avoid it. Now let's talk about economic growth. Developing mathematics confidence is a key to unlocking talent and drive economic growth across Africa. University of Ghana are really pushing it to the boundary. Now, have you guys heard about M-Pesa?
I've heard of M-Pesa, yes. I think 70% of the remittances in Ghana or Gateway, they use this, yes.
Yeah, exactly. It's all driven, this success. I'm proud of Ghana, Kenya. This success was built with the foundation in mathematics. So you can see on my screen about 7 areas where math play an important role to transform this country. And now M-Pesa is one of the most used apps that actually enable even the villagers, the farmers, everybody be able to transfer money. Even if you don't have a bank account, you're able to do business. This is a revolution. It's all based on...
I think they've been around for long, but they were not being pushed or without was marketing, because if they had received the kind of promotions that some of these other apps receive, M-Pesa will be used worldwide.
Right, absolutely.
You know, but they didn't get the kind of support that they needed.
Exactly. But now you see the impact of mathematics right there. Now, what about, I tell you about malaria. Now the question is, how does that, what does that got to do with mathematics?
I want to know.
So malaria remains one of the major health challenges in Africa. So it is mathematics that have been used in countries like Ghana, Tanzania, and Kenya, that they were able to develop some of the drugs that are used to prevent malaria in Africa. Even though most countries would like to import drugs from abroad, but these are becoming obvious in our own country, where some of these drugs are being manufactured. So you use mathematics model and analysis to create more effective malaria control and elimination strategy tailored to local context. So it is because of this knowledge that you're able to model effective malaria control. Is using mathematics.
Well, you know, Peter, I wish I knew this when I was developing my ACT combination anti-malaria drug, which is that was in 2000 and is it 2009? 2000 between 2009 and because we took it to Nigeria in 2014. So we did it. It's registered with NAFDAC, but it was not. It had the same ingredients like some of the brand names that were already in the market. But I wish I knew this information at the time. I could have made some alterations.
Oh yeah,
on my particular product, so absolutely. That it doesn't have the same, just the exact active ingredients like the brand names. Exactly. So I'm definitely gonna look into this.
Absolutely, it's all driven by math, and any enhancement, modification, is truly mathematics behind the scene. All right, and again, you can see some of the metrics, how mathematics has helped combat malaria in Africa in a big way.
But in spite of that, Prof, the malaria remains a major challenge.
Yes, but it's controllable. It's controllable. Absolutely. Rwanda is also coming on the stage, with mathematics. Rwanda has evolved into one of the African fast-growing economies over 2 decades. Rapid economic growth. The government emphasizes STEM education with a special focus on mathematics. Mathematics literacy is considered essential for advancing a tech-driven economy. So if a country knows all of this and start teaching these kids from primary, nursery, all the way to university, of course, that will bring a lot of impact to the country economy in many ways. So Rwanda is also recognizing mathematics as a key area for education for the masses.
Prof, not to interrupt you, there's a country I know and love very much. I've not heard it on your list, Cameroon.
Oh, God. Don't put my brother in trouble, I beg.
I just want him to say no, they're not yet on the list, but they'll get on the list.
They'll get on the list.
You can say that. He doesn't have to say that. He's dealing with facts here.
I know. Thank you, Prof. Thank you, Prof. Go ahead.
You're welcome. So anybody who is listening to us today is wondering, how do I get started? How do I get involved? How would that affect me? You tell us all this good stuff about mathematics. What is required? Well, a few areas you need to notice in order to become a good mathematician, or at least use it for your own personal good, is develop problem-solving skills. Develop problem-solving skills. When there is a problem, don't run away. Try to stay with the problem and figure out how to solve it. When you have that aptitude, then math is your friend. Okay? Find mentors and role models, people who are in the industry. I remember when we were in high school, and we have this math teacher that Madam Pam just mentioned. The way he was teaching math truly encouraged me to learn math further. So if you find a model like that, please don't let go. Keep following up with the model, ask questions, find mentors who are already in the field. It could be data scientists, it could be analysts. Ask them about how they are going about their work. How do they use mathematics in the work that they do? And then finally, use digital resources. There's a lot of information online. A lot of information online. Reach out to ChatGPT. Ask few questions about mathematics. Ask ChatGPT to show you how to solve an equation. It will be your study companion. So
can you imagine if we had that when we were in CPC?
I know, exactly.
We suffered. We studied the hard way.
Exactly. So, you can't do it alone. It takes a community to build a village, and a village to build a country. So, essentially, a program that involve regional collaborations, public engagement, educational programs, get involved. Get involved in the community. There are so many of them there. Enter a club. There's mathematics clubs all over the place. There is statistics club out there. There is a science club out there. Join them. They could be virtual online. They could be physical on premise. You cannot learn alone. You're going to learn with the community, and you will learn better that way. All right. Opportunities in mathematics and STEM. First, when you know this very well, you will be able to advance in your education. You will do extracurricular growth. You will have extracurricular growth, meaning you will grow faster. You know, you grow faster in education and growth in a job place. Career exploration, you'll be able to explore other careers. Remember, I mentioned health science. I mentioned about machine learning. I mentioned about analytics. Those are careers that will be open for you once you open your mind for mathematics. So therefore, learn mathematics and take advantage of those high-paying jobs that are out there. All right. Africa's mathematical revolution. The growth is coming. It's taking hold in Africa. 60% population growth. African population will increase by 60% by 2050. Statistics show. Requiring innovative solutions for sustainable development, powered by mathematics modeling. See? So knowing that we are growing fast, there's a lot of job opportunity for everyone in Africa. Just learn the material. Just stay with mathematics. New jobs needed. Africa requires 75 million new jobs annually. So jobs are not only abroad, they are right home. Tech growth, 4 times. African technology sector is growing 4 times faster than the global average. Can you imagine? So stay connected.
Africa is the place to be.
The next set of millionaires are going to come from Africa. They are already emerging.
Yeah.
So therefore, we are here to guide you, show you where the growth is, show you what you need to do, especially in the mathematics world. Please get involved, and you will not be left behind. So join us in investing in mathematics to accelerate Africa's innovation and growth today. So with that, I conclude today's presentation on mathematics. Thank you.
Awesome.
Awesome. Yeah. Awesome presentation. But how do we get it to the people on the streets?
This show is one way. Peter, you can stop sharing your screen.
Yep.
This show it's one way we are doing that. Prof, I am truly, truly proud of you. And I'm not going to alter the mentoring schedule. Just go with what is on the schedule. When we triage these students, those that successfully make it through phase 1 they'll graduate into the program. And Trust Tech is handling our phase 2 for us. And Peter, please stay on after the program. Let's chat briefly. Back to you.
I want to come to Dr. Crosslin. Maybe she has a question.
Yeah, that's okay. Yeah, I was giving back the mic back to you. Dr. Crosslin, any additional comment? You've seen the professor's presentation on mathematics.
Yeah, so everyone has a different experience with mathematics. So for me, I was raised around mathematics and engineers and scientists. So I just was always of the opinion that math was just normal. It was just the right thing to do. And when I increased my knowledge in algebra and calculus, I had got stressed out, and my um, my doctor's nurse, which was also his wife, at the time I was a young girl, she suggested that I take easier courses instead of working harder. So
I'm not surprised.
ma'am.
I said, I'm not surprised.
Yeah, I think our last comment was, how do we get this information to the street? So a lot of youngsters younger than me, when they are digging deeper instead of going to easier classes, they get bullied, they get called names, nerds and things like that. So, and some of them actually get bullied really bad. So I think, we should have a summit to get the word out on the street that it's okay to be a nerd, that math is, like what you said, Dr. Pam, the new sexy. Thank you so much.
Dr. Crossley, you're right. And there are people that get offended when a girl is good with math or any of the STEM subjects, because they have this mentality that women belong in the kitchen or the bedroom. And that is changing. Can you imagine if girls were really encouraged in STEM in our generation? Can you imagine? In our class, Peter, there was myself, there was Evelyn Ariel John, who is a retired physicist now. There was Stella Ambe, who goes by Stella Emmanuel now. There was Agnes Okwu, and I think Gloria. I think there were four or five of us. We're not more than 5 girls in that class. The rest were boys, in high school. So people really need to get away from thinking women need to do literature or history or those kind of courses. Because when we women get into a course, we excel. So we're going to push this, but there were a lot of requests for us to push girls in our STEM program. And we told them we are not going to discriminate by gender. So we are pushing both girls and boys, because the truth is that even our young Black men are endangered species. So we don't want them to pay for the crimes of their forefathers. So we are enrolling both boys and girls in our program. I'm sorry, I think something got into my eyes. But Niasong, let me hand over to you and turn to my right eye.
Yeah, Prof, what Reverend has said has just triggered a nerve in me, and I begin to think, what are we the men today doing to not be like our ancestors who thought that the best thing for a girl is a wedding room or a wedding home? What are we doing to encourage our girl students or our girl population to learn mathematics or the sciences in general so as to excel?
Well, I think when I remember when I was growing up, what Reverend Pam just said, there was preference for the male education than girls. But that has changed a lot over the last decade. If you look back and compare what the parents are doing today, they are equally treating their girls and their boys the same when it comes to education. The only problem that sometimes we face is that the girls will decide on their own to choose a path in life different from what the parents want them to be. So our role today is to show that girls' education is very important. They can have a better life than being a housewife. They should be able, they are very competitive, they are very smart, by looking at those who have succeeded if we, as a program, as a ABB, have a page where we recognize women who have succeeded in technology and have important positions. We put on the website that when people go to the website, I say, oh my goodness, look at ladies. They're actually aspiring in technology that will truly encourage them to do the same. So that's one way that we can encourage that to happen. And when we have a webinar, we have a special talk about women in technology. It will emphasize that during some of the events, somebody can speak about women in technology and make references to successes that people have gained. Even the salary expectation for men and women is narrowing. There used to be a gap, but today we have engineers that are earning 150,000, 160,000, even earning better than men in the industry. So things are changing. We just have to help narrow it in a way that they can quickly find the information they need and be encouraged.
Prof, I like that angle you took. And it just reminded me, because most of the people, the confirmed teachers of our program are male. We do have female teachers, but not as many. So if you know any lady, they have to be an African descendant, because we want these young people to see people that look like them.
Yeah.
How smart they are, and to watch them, like what we call like begat like. We're not going to bring an Indian person to come and teach them technology. First of all, they won't understand their English. So we want, Prof, check your network if you have any female who's excelling in tech. We do have one person on our thing, but she has not been able to avail herself. She's an engineer. So she's supposed to be one of the mentors, but she's not taking any of the strands. So we need somebody. And Dr. Crossley, you have a large network. If you know a female that is very good with STEM. Last week, we had Dr. Joy on there. I can ask her if she can take one of the strands, because she's been in that field for a long time. But let's try to get some more female teachers. Like I said, the class that Dr. Meng taught yesterday, I was going to teach that class on leadership. And when I found out that he wrote a book on leadership, I was like, you know what? My plate is overflowing. Let him do that. It relieves me to do the other things. So it is so important that these young girls, they see women and mentors and models that look like them. And I think that's something we're going to have to make a conscious decision. We have to be intentional about it, to make sure at least 40% or 50% of our instructors are female. So thank you so much for that. We are actually coming up at the top of the hour. We have 2 minutes near, so you have something to say in 2 minutes?
Not much, just to say I appreciate Prof, and I will hope that Prof will stay with us through the month so that we finish all the items on the STEM agenda.
He has no choice. I already ordered him to do so. He cannot say no to me. He knows better than that.
So we still have science and engineering to go through. So please, Prof, I appreciate all what you are doing for us. And please, my problem remains getting on the continent. We are doing this, yes. It's just a little snippet. But what else can we do, especially in our different countries, to help the children get the courage, especially the girl child, to be courageous enough to stand up for mathematics, not to shy away?
Yeah, let me mention something here. So there are workshops that are going on. I don't know about Cameroon, but they're happening in Nigeria and Ghana. And we, Africa's Brain Bank, is partnering with a major organization that have a huge youth population in 25 countries. We are going to be working with them on our STEM program. They are coming to benefit from our STEM program. And then we're going to have them do certain things for us, because we don't believe in the consumer mentality. But one of the things I want to say, I went to a secondary school, an all-girls secondary school called Queen of the Holy Rosary Secondary School, or Okoyong, in a village called Okoyong. I spoke with one of the past presidents, because in the past I tried to work with the alumni here to bring STEM program to the girls. But then the pandemic and the Ambazonia distractions, those rebels burned the school down. I mean, all those distractions, but school has reopened. So there are several girls' schools in Cameroon, besides Queen of the Holy Rosary. There's Lourdes that was patterned after Queen of the Holy Rosary. There is Seka Baptist. So we'll reach out to those to the schools. We're going to reach out to them directly and share some of these programs with them, Peter, so that it empowers those girls. But one of the things I also want to say is that charity begins at home. The parents need to inculcate that in their children, because there are some parents that will send the boy to school and not the girl and say, oh, there's no money. But then if you think about it, girls usually do a better job taking care of their parents. I said usually, not always, you know. So let's keep working on this. We are making impact and we're making a difference. But let's keep working on this. Let me go to the anthem.
Yes, please. Prof, take a sip of water and let's continue on the other side.
All right, thank you.
Let me share my
screen.
No, I want to share the volume. Hold on.
Okay.
All right, you guys let me know.
Oh, good.
Africa.
All right. Here.
Oh no. Africans, Africans for Africa. 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 Africans have many bright ideas. If only you let us share. If you really want to know my history, please come, sit down, listen to my story. God gave us a wisdom. He guides our footsteps, makes us shine and transform. Hey, as one people, with so many cultures, indeed we are one. Stand up, Africans, let's save Africa. Let us all unite behind AfricaOnline Media Corporation. Stand up, Africans, let's save Africa. It's time to come together, promote awareness, progress, and solution. Hey. Africans, Africans for Africa. Africans, Africans for Africa. Africans, Africans for Africa. All Africans can rally for a common cause, to believe without judgment in what our brother does. To identify and resolve our challenges, to allow each other's ideas without regard to standards. As one people with so many cultures, yes indeed we are one. Stand up, Africans, for Africa. Let us solve all the problems plaguing our continent. Stand up, Africans, let's save Africa. Let us empower Africans in and out of Africa. Stand up, Africans, for Africa. AfricaOnline Media Corporation, that's a good way to start. Stand up, Africans, let's save Africa. They have all the resources we need to benefit our society. Oh. There will be education for everyone if we believe. Prosperity for Africans if we believe. Medical facilitation for Africans if we believe. Stand up, Africa, yes, for Africa. Africa Online Media Corporation, that's a good way to start. Stand up, Africans, let's save Africa. Africa is a cradle of civilization, the motherland. Stand up, Africans, for Africa. We were enslaved not because we were weak, but because of our hospitality. Stand up, Africans, let's save Africa. Jump on the Africa Online Miracle Jet. Don't be left behind. Stand up, Africans, for Africa. Together we shall succeed. Together we will win. Stand up, Africans. Let's save Africa. We are writing our own story, the truth, and we shall tell it to the world. Stand up, Africans, for Africa. No more lies. Africans own Africa.
That's right. No more lies. Africans own Africa. And we own full rights to that song. I wrote that song 9 years ago, and under the anointing of God, and it was performed by one of our young men, DJ Skipper, aka Goldfinger. So we're so grateful. So Professor Peter, just a quick announcement. Africa's Brain Bank, our sister organization, is having its 6th annual summit and charity ball in New York, Labor Day weekend. That's in 2 weeks. Professor Peter is going to be speaking Friday night on the business session. Professor Aston Lefan Kemleke will be honored on Saturday night. I'm hoping that Dr. Crosslin would either come or send some people from Mr. DC to represent, to come and be a part of it. We are trying to get about 100 students in the New York City, New Jersey area, and we need sponsors for those students. It's $250 for the students to attend on Saturday. But the STEM students, their school fees is $300. Thanks to Prof and Trustech, they gave us 50% discount. It's supposed to be $600. So, Prof, thank you so much. So let us know which strand you want to teach next week. Is it engineering or science? Prof. Peter, you are muted. Peter, are you there?
Oh, he's back. Yes.
Yeah. So which do you want to take, engineering or science next week? I can't hear you.
Engineering.
We couldn't hear you. You're very low.
I can't hear you.
Okay, 1 second.
Oh, wow. Just put it in the chat box. We cannot hear you.
Your microphone.
You can, yeah, just put it in the chat box. Or Niason, giving that, engineering. So, Niason, I think you can take the round of the table because I think he's having some mic issues.
So the E in engineering, the E in STEM.
In STEM, okay. Yeah. So go ahead and do the last the round of the table.
Thank you, Prof. Thank you, everyone, for being here today. Dr. Crosslin, I always start with you. Round up of the discussion today. Dr. Crosslin, unmute, please, and join us to share your last word, your last feelings on mathematics. You were a math student. Tell us more. And what is it like going forward?
Yeah, so I, was posting on Facebook a brain surgeon who supports Mr. DC. She's been there since the very beginning. And her whole entire family are all really good at math. And I think it's like five, a heart surgeon, family practice. All of them support Mr. DC and have been there since the beginning. And I appreciate my not I appreciate my family of growing up around mathematicians, and then my friends are, and it's so natural to be in this environment, and even with Dr. Pam being a pharmacist and all of the math that she knows and that she does, and she's absolutely gorgeous.
Thank you. That's so kind.
Yes,
Thank you.
and brilliant, and absolutely brilliant. When I first met her in person, I didn't know that was her, but I was like, this is a beautiful woman.
Oh,
And remember we were at,
you met me last year in Atlanta.
yes, and I just could not get over how beautiful she is,
Oh Lord.
and knowing about her dad, how her dad raised her, and how he was so instrumental in her life. And I'm just going to be excited when that one day when she's able to tell her story, so that everybody can hear just how amazing she truly is. And thank you all for having me here today.
Thank you, Dr. Crossley. I usually don't get compliments like that from females. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Thank you very much, Dr. Crossley, and I look forward to seeing you next week. Engineering is going to be the topic, so please, I know you always join in. Now, Your Royal Highness.
Wow, after what Dr. Crossley, I'm just trying to take all that in. That was so kind of her. I just put in the chat the lessons that Dr. Bagayoko, our STEM master, did on the law of human performance. I want to encourage all our young people and older people, don't be afraid of math. According to that law of human performance, it says you can become a mathematician if you practice. But let me go to the Bible. Philippians 4:13 says you can do all things through Christ who strengthens. So you can, that law is based on the biblical principle of Philippians 4:13. So don't be afraid of math. Don't be afraid of artificial intelligence. I intend to become AI certified myself. I just need to make the time because there's so much on my plate. But let's continue to study. If you don't use your brains, you're going to lose brain cells. And I like to gain brain cells. And that's why I like to hang around smart people. I don't like to hang around people who are not smart because I don't want to lose brain cells. So just keep practicing. Like Prof said, you can ask ChatGPT or any other AI, Perplexity, there are so many of them, to help you solve a problem. But I want to encourage our people back home. I know the institution of higher learning, even the secondary schools, they don't like to change curricula. We need to dump all that rubbish colonial curricula that we have and start focusing on things that really matter. Stop teaching African children about European history. It's not going to help them get a job. It's not. I still say, I don't know why they taught me about Vasco da Gama. They should have taught me about the relationship between Bamenda and Boya, and not about Vasco da Gama discovering the sea route to India or Bismarck and the German. Don't teach our children all that rubbish. Don't make us remember all the wars, the Battle of Waterloo, all the wars that happened, all those things, we don't need to know about them, please. They are all online, our children can read them. Don't be forcing us to learn European history and world history and all that. We just need to know our own history. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. We'll only do that when our leaders realize that Africa is Africa, not Africa-Europe. It is no longer 1880.
So we're not waiting for the leaders. We're not waiting for the leaders. That's why we are doing this. We're not waiting
because the leaders are sleeping and some of them are just, anyway. Prof, Akwichek, sorry, you are the last man standing and you are the one to give us your last word. Yes, your microphone is not working actually.
You can put.
See if there's a button. See if there's a red button to press.
No, he knows technology. I think that's just what can I say? And he's not in Africa. Prof, you can put your last word in the chat box.
Say what you can say. Maybe it will come on.
Well, yeah, so Niason, give your own last word while he's typing.
Well, whatever we do, we have to accept the fact that STEM is something we cannot ignore. STEM, some of us grew up not knowing, but we've grown up to know it, and we're pressing every button we can see to press to make sure that mathematics, engineering, science, technology become available to all and sundry back, especially on the continent, particularly in that country I once loved so much. So please, Prof, we'll look up to you to finish up. But if we cannot get your audio, we will just say all the best, and we will see you on the 17th, which is the middle of August. And of course, that will be the last, no, not the last.
No, we'll still have science.
We'll be engineering.
And you will meet him in person in New York.
Yes.
He'll be in New York with his
wife. Oh, that's right. That's right. Thank you very much, Prof. My pleasure, and please have a blessed week. Bye for now.
All right, Prof, do you need any more? Are you almost done with your last word, or we can just call it? Well, what we can do is next week you can make your comments, and please work